What's going on, fam? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Wednesday, August 4th, 2021. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Thanks so much for being here with me. I hope that you're off to a great start to your day already. Let's take a look at the horoscope for today. Little hump day action. Today's a pretty healing day. We're going to see that sun come to 12 degrees and make the trine to Chiron. And as we're seeing like the sun really pull off of Saturn, we've had to deal with a lot of weight, a lot of decisions, this sort of battle between finding this nice center point between responsibility, other people in the world, what other people are doing, what society's doing, and our own heart, our own wants, our own needs, our own self-expression. And now we get a nice trine to Chiron from the sun at the 12th degree, which is an expansive degree. It's an emotional, expansive degree because this is where we have to take what we know about ourselves. We have to take the courage and the strength that we've found within ourselves at this point and do something with it. We got to use that, fire energy. I mean, this is yang energy right here. Yang. Say it. Yang. It's masculine energy. It's moving, it's defining, it's using resources and creating. And a lot of it comes from dealing with finding our own sense of self, our own identity, as Chiron in Aries has kind of been a healing moment of really finding our true identity. And we're kind of even going back into that right now with Chiron in retrograde. But we get this nice dignified sun in Leo making that trine over to Chiron. So the strength, the courage, the initiation, the movement forward with what you identify with is healing right now. So it's an important time just overall in the astrology, but especially today, to keep moving in the direction that makes you feel the most authentic to yourself, the most in your heart, the most you. I mean, these are very you energies here. Leo, Aries. Aries, of course, is more like the just instinctive you, and Leo would be more of the creative actualization because you kind of are knowing who you are. And now it's a time to believe in that strength and that identity that you've come to be in right now within yourself. So whatever big decisions you've had to make or whatever you've had to deal with when it comes to the public or other people or relationships, you got to like hold that line for your strength, your value, as we also start to see the sun, a couple days away here from the square to Uranus. And Mercury just came off that square to Uranus. We saw a bunch of crazy news come out yesterday. Governor Cuomo in New York, all that, which really just looks like a big distraction, if you ask me. Not that it didn't happen. I do think it's very likely that all that went down. But this was already stuff that has come up, and now we're seeing it come out as like a distraction from the bigger news, which is that New York is starting their passport for the old vaccine, if you will. So, and to anybody who got it, nope, I'm not trying to hate, I'm not trying to judge, but the levels of authoritarianism surrounded by it don't necessarily match up with my value system. So I guess you guys should know that since you're on this channel with me, if you don't know that already. I like choice. I like when people get to do what they want to do. If you want it, I support that. If you don't, I support that too. So, not to just make it about that, but we're seeing these things pop off in the world right now. We're having to kind of like really pick a line in a lot of ways in our life. We're seeing the moon finish up in Gemini. Kind of a helter-skelter energy in itself, and that moon's very like void off course here for a few hours today. And it's the end of Gemini is this like kind of lots of information, lots of feelings, lots of change. So we're seeing information come out. We're seeing things change. We could see opinions in our own personal life about things or decisions or people change, as well as stuff that comes out more in the world. We're going to see the moon make a nice sextile over to Mars in Virgo into the evening, the afternoon, the evening, which I think is good because it's kind of building off of that courage to make an act with. It's going to be the moon dignified in Cancer at that point, so we're going to see that ingress as well. So it's having us like really emotionally identify with the things in life that we want to purify and change and, kind of be smart. Like we look at Mercury here. Mercury's doing a lot here in Leo. It's with the sun. In ancient astrology, Mercury was a ruler of Leo before they gave the luminaries homes. So like Mercury really does like Leo. It's like a home for Leo. Even though these dignity scores aren't going to say that, but it is. And Mercury's also at the midpoint today of Jupiter and Saturn. So when it comes to looking at the North Node and Mercury being the dispositor, the Moon finishing up in Gemini, Mercury's the dispositor, and Mars in Virgo, Mercury's the dispositor. We're seeing a theme here. It's a lot of information, and it's time to really understand the practical things that you really want. What's pure to you, what's pure to your heart. Standing and holding that line for what you need to be courageous and speak up about in your life. It's very, like, that's going to make the changes you need. Because it's a mutable day, and then it kind of jumps into the moon in Cancer here, which is cardinal, of course, and it gives us some more boost to the energy that we already have. So there is this emotional boost. It could be sensitive emotionally by the end of the day, and especially depending on how you use this Mercury energy, and especially with Mercury at that midpoint, where this is exactly 16 degrees is where the new moon's going to be on Sunday. So this is kind of like a precursor day to this new moon energy that's going to be the next lunar cycle. So I would say it's very important to pay attention, to be alert mentally of what's going on. Emotions are going to be felt, things are going to come up in life, but we have to kind of like take practical, smart action, hold the line of courage, be in that truth. Mercury is truth, individual truth, the spreading of that information. Jupiter is truth too, but Jupiter's truth is more this big one truth of Sagittarius. And right now, the narrative is pushing a one-sided truth. And we have to just be smart in life. Like, maybe that is your truth. I'm not here to judge that. But it's asking ourselves if we want to be in that story of that truth, or if we want to look for new, exciting ways for our own individual truth, North Node Gemini, and use that energy today to find a lot of courage and strength. It's likely the detachment from emotion on such, I would say it's a pretty emotional day, but being able to detach and look at things from a mercurial, hermetic point of view, because right, the Mercury, just, if you look at the planet, it has no moons. It's just the mind. There's no emotion. And even Uranus here, which is the dispositor of Jupiter and Saturn, like, Uranus doesn't have a drop of emotion in it either. So we're seeing this practical sense of being very smart and having that common sense to hold your line of the truth of your identity right now and to not be wounded. I think we're finding a lot of confidence and courage today to use information to make smart emotional decisions of what's going to be the most practical, what's going to be the most shifting in our life as well for what we really want and where things are going to go. We're also going to see Venus at 16 degrees of Virgo. So Venus and Mercury are in semi-sextile. So it's almost kind of like understanding the like grounded aspect of what we want to attract and bring in right now. Like, there has to be this sort of pickiness to it. Like, is it the best? Is it of the heart's desires? Is it of your soul desires? Are relationships meeting? Because there could be a blind spot here, because there's kind of this chaotic energy as we are dealing with a lot of squares to Uranus that's trying to take us higher in life right now, trying to spiral us up. But we have to be, I would say, just in a pay attention sort of way to what's going on around us, and especially in our own environment, for the choices that we want to make to have a more pure, to have a more beautiful environment, reality, life, all of that. It's very important today as we're going to see a preview, I would say, of what this next lunar cycle is going to look like as we build up to another full moon in Aquarius. So very important times. It's very interesting. That whole Lionsgate portal is open right now, and I don't usually give that a lot of credit, but definitely portal times right now, and we're going to start seeing more and more about the choices we make from an individuated heart space perspective. And I think that moon even coming into Cancer like gives us some compassion to want to like take care and like kind of uplift other people as well. And I think that with the Aquarius energy too, like we do have to remember to try and create win-wins in life. But we also, can't connect to things that don't want to win with you. So there has to like be that connection, disconnection, and understanding of what your heart wants in your life to make good choices that are moving you forward with your own creative identity and not taking you away from that or taking you out of the identity that you have built. And I would hope that absolutely none of you get taken from that essence of your being today. It's crazy times in the astrology. It's a powerful time we're in right now. So change is important. Uranus does bring change, and it accelerates us. So we gotta accelerate. We gotta make choices and accelerate ourselves to what we really want and what we want. This like how can you make your world this Garden of Eden? How can you make it beautiful in a world that's so unstable and so unpredictable? And that's not easy, but it comes with choices every day that you make to do for yourself, your sovereignty, your light, and holding that line while still holding a lot of love in your heart too. Tall task for the light workers. We got the Page of Wands. Yes, I like that. That curiosity of the new energy that can be creative, that new love energy that can come in, but we still have to be smart and like take information as what it is. Does it resonate with your heart? Does it look like it's going to bring fun, quick energy into your life? Is it going to bring purity into your life? Questions I think are super important, and it's questions that we have to check in not only mentally with, but we have to like check in with the essence of who we are and bring that like youthfulness out and find some way to maybe do something creative and fun. I definitely look at that card as like a really fun card. The joys of life, like the simple things sometimes, like it reminds me of kids. And like kids can just have fun. Like I have a 3.5-year-old. He can just have fun doing the most simple thing in his like when he's in his heart and his imagination and he's just in that flow. I think we want to find that flow today while still being conscious of what we have to do in the bigger scheme of what's trying to take place and come into our world. Love you all very much. Hope you have a beautiful Wednesday. I will see you for tomorrow's horoscope, mañana. Peace.